Okay, for number one, it is vertex form. You can tell that it's vertex form because it has a number outside a parentheses squared, plus or minus a number. Now, even though it says order, axis of symmetry, vertex, all of that, you don't have to go in that order. Do what you know first, and then it's going to lead you to the next answer. So from vertex form, I know that that's my K, and then the opposite of what I see is my H. So my vertex is H comma K. In this case, the opposite of -5 is 5. And then 3 is exactly what I see. Now from there, I can see that my axis of symmetry is my H value. So x equals 5. Now the next questions will be useful when you get the graph. So since 5 comma 3 is a nice number, I'm going to put that in the middle because the vertex is your bouncing point. So you want to go to your graph and actually graph the -2 times the quantity x minus 5 squared plus 3. So let me type that in. Now you will be able to use your calculator, of course. Hopefully you got the graphing part done in class. Okay, so that's better. So now our parabola is pointing downwards. So if you go back to the problem, the vertex is the highest point. So that's how you know that it's the maximum. Now, zeros, x-intercept, solution, roots, that's all the same name for where does your graph cross the x-axis. Now, the easiest thing to do is to go to the table, and we have our vertex 5 comma 3. So we're going to put that in the center of our table. And then we're going to create our table by copying. So 3, -5, 4 comma 1 comes next, 5 3's in the middle, then 6 1, and then 7 -5. Now you just want to verify that it's exactly the same table, which it is, and then plot your points. So 3 -5, 4 1, 5 3, 6 1, and then 7 -5. Of course, you're going to draw your parabola much better than I would. Now, on the test, your x-intercepts would be nice whole numbers. So from here, you can look and see where it is, or you can just do this on the calculator. To get out of your table, Control-T, and then menu 6-1. So that is your first x-intercept. So 3.78, comma 0. And then you're going to have to do menu 6-1 again to find the second one. In this case, it's 6.22, comma 0. Now your domain for each of these problems will be -infinity to +infinity because the graph will always be going to the left and always going to the right. Now your range, this is where it differs from problem to problem. Our parabola is facing downward, so you want to start from the bottom up. So down here are all the negative numbers, and then go up as far as you can. And what's the highest y? It is 3. Now you can make sure that these are the same. And then remember from our notes from previous that these numbers will be the same. Okay. For number 2, it's in standard form. So standard form, you have to remember a few things. The y-intercept equals your c value. So in this case, our y-intercept is a +1. Now, the axis of symmetry in standard form is not as easy as it was in vertex form. You're going to have to work for it. We will give you the opposite of b over 2a, but we're not going to tell you when you have to use it. So in this case, the opposite of -5 is +5 over 2 times our a value, which is 3. So in this case, I gave you a fraction, and that's my bad. On the unit test, I will make sure that you get all whole numbers. So just round it. So that right there is the axis of symmetry. Now, from that point, to find the vertex, you already found your x value. Remember, it's really the same thing as number 1. Your axis of symmetry is your x value always for your vertex. Now, what you're going to do to find the y is you have to plug it in. Now, once you plug it in, and you can do this on your phone calculator or on a graphing calculator or any type of calculator that you have. It does not need to be a TI. You're going to get y equals -1.08. That's rounding, and that's your y value. So just like before, your y value is going to be used in your domain, which we'll get back to later. Now, where some of you guys struggled today in class was, all right, there's no decimal in the table. So let's make sure that we graph. Add graphs. Now the problem was 3x squared minus 5x plus 1. Now, there it is. The vertex is the lowest point, so it's a minimum. Now, what two numbers is 0.83 between? It is between 0 and 1. So you can make your table doing it that way, or you can make your table with whatever plottable points the table gives you. Like for -223, there's no way that you're going to plot that. 23 is too high. So -1, the table gave you 9, 0, and 1. And then 1 and -1. And then 2 and 3. Now, where it confused you guys were here, these were nice and symmetrical, -5, -5, 1, 1. However, they're not symmetrical for number 2, which is totally fine. You can do -1 to 9, 0 to 1, and then approximate. So somewhere down there, 1, -1, 2, 3. And graph like that.